Hey guys, in today's episode of the Career Packs podcast, I want to talk about being more articulate with your words, the way you speak, how you convey a message, all that fun stuff. I break it down in this episode, so hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into today's episode. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Career Packs podcast. My name is Neil Patel. I'm the host of this podcast, and on today's episode, I want to talk about being articulate, something that I strive to be as a human being, the words I speak, the things I say with this podcast, everything. Because I firmly believe being articulate is the most dangerous skill any man or woman can possess with their work. Any job, any career, any industry, any field, whatever profession you decide to go into, it will be in better hands if you are someone who can be articulate. So you guys may be asking, in what sense? In what sense, Neil, do you mean be articulate? Well, here's what I mean. The ability to convey a message, make someone feel something, make someone understand your point of view or way of thinking with logical rationale, backed with evidence, a good story, saying something with confidence and competence, while also keeping a steady head on someone's shoulders. And when I say steady head, it's like you don't want to explain something or say something in a way where it looks like you're speaking out of emotion, and more so bad emotion, through out of anger or spite or pity or frustration. If you just seem like someone who's level headed, the words you say, they will matter a little bit more and you'll seem a little bit more articulate. So needless to say, ever since I started this podcast, it's been a huge goal of mine to become a articulate speaker. It's been a difficult road. That I will not disagree with. That is completely true. Because if you guys can't tell, your boy isn't the most articulate. He's not the best. Sometimes he doesn't make sense. He stumbles over his word. He still has to edit his podcast. And I don't think there will ever be a podcast that I'll ever make or anyone makes that they could just do one take and just be perfect, not make any mistakes. Maybe there is someone out there. Maybe Joe Rogan is someone like that. Regardless, like I said, it's been a difficult road. So anyone in a position of power or authority, and just like your daily runarounds, if you're in interviews, like I said, meetings with managers, encounters with cashiers or clerks, being able to explain to someone a situation, making a case for why you deserve something or why you're not guilty of said thing, planning strategically and not losing battles in a way that makes you seem weak or inarticulate, being very mindful of how you approach things. So, what's the flip side? The flip side is just being inarticulate, someone who stumbles. I've done that over and over, fell into the hole of just blah, words jumbling up. And I think this happens because I often speak faster than I can think, which is the root for all the uhs, ums, ands, likes, and so's, and so on. I've probably already done it a couple times in this episode where I've began to stumble, being unable to entice someone with your words or compel them with your words or a vision that you may have for the future, what it might be. That's the flip side, which obviously sucks. I don't want that. And most people don't want that either. Most people, they want to be able to say something and have others hear them out. There's an annoying fly over here, and it's really annoying. This fly has been in my house for the past 2 days, and I can't catch it. I got to get one of those fly swatters. If any of y'all have one and don't want your boy spending money on fly swatters, please send one my way because I would use it gladly. We do not condone the killing of flies on this podcast. Instead, I'll take that fly swatter, donate to someone, and I'll just catch this fly nice and calmly and let it back out into the wild. There's no guarantee for me doing that. Okay, moving on. That's the flip side of being inarticulate. It sucks. It's not the best feeling. Hence, why I'm so particular about this topic, and it's why I care so deeply about it, because it bugs me every time when I listen back to an episode and I'm like, ugh, dude, this is just not good. It's horrible and it can be better and a lot better. And what I find interesting is that oftentimes with language, I've misused it. I've misused language, I've misused the words that I carry. And I think this is common for a lot of people, young people specifically, because we use words in a very arrogant way. We don't have enough experience or learnings and haven't been taught this in school. We use our words to get our way, a desire to attain victories or appear smart in situations because of the words we use. I've been guilty of being the person who's found a cool word, or like I've expanded my vocabulary in some way, and I just start using it repeatedly in daily conversations to obtain a sense of superiority or the feeling of being smart. And I've done that in arguments or debates too. But you guys get what I'm saying. Using different words that you learn over and over in your speech to make yourself sound smarter, better, feeling like you're someone who's superior. And that's what I mean by using your words and your speech in an arrogant way. We don't really think about the things that we say, and it leads to some of our not proudest moments. And I wonder why stuff like this isn't taught in schools, because there can be an entire class specifically on teaching students how to be articulate. I would subscribe to that immediately. I don't care how much it would cost, but I would do it in a heartbeat. Because, like I said, I think it's one of the most profound skills that we can embody in our life, in our day to day habits, our connections, the people we interact with. It makes everything just better when you learn that skill. So I can confidently say, here's what I can confidently say about my ability to articulate. It's that I can do that very well with my emotions, how I'm feeling, why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, what was the root of it? Is it something that's actually worth worrying about? Is it in my control? What can I do to mitigate my internal feeling behind this or internal state? Am I in a certain mood that I can shift? And on the flip side, when I read something, when I listen to something, or hear someone captivate my attention, if I want to articulate that to someone, I have a little bit of a hard time doing that. Or so I think. I may be being a little bit harsh on myself, but I can definitely be better. So if someone were to ask me, hey, how can we become more articulate? This is me included. This may be you guys, anyone in your life. It's just one thing. It's to really pay attention to what you say. That's the only thing. And it's no rocket science. Genuinely, every word that you say, pay attention to what you are putting out there. Being present with your words and your mind and really thinking, is this the right word to say? If you are, same examples, if you are in an interview, if you are in a meeting with a manager, if you are in a business meeting, if you are talking to your parents or your significant other, a stranger, any interaction, or if you're on the phone with someone, doesn't matter. Whoever you're speaking with, if you take the time to sit down and think, really think as you're talking, it'll do wonders. And I just said how most of the time the reason I stutter is due to me speaking faster than my brain can think, which leads to a lot of the inarticulate words, reasoning, and points. Think about podcasting. Good podcasters, they are not inarticulate. Think Joe Rogan, Lex Friedman, Tim Ferriss, Lewis Howes, Casey Adams, Alex Ramosi, Andy Frisella. List goes on. Many, many more. All of these podcasters, they have a way to articulate, be confident with their words, have immense belief in everything they say. So the best podcasters, speakers, leaders, businessmen, businesswomen, they are freaking good at articulation. And that starts with the ability to listen extremely well. And when they listen to someone else, they can also, as they are speaking, pay very close attention to every single word. Yes, part of that is due to their influence that they have and the eyeballs that they have around them. They have their own PR teams. That's what it's called. Sorry, I just took like 30 to 45 seconds to remember what it was. They have their own PR teams that are on them 24/7 to make sure that they didn't say anything out of line, or they're staying in line essentially with the content and media that they put out. And the best speakers, they know not only how to articulate, but with that comes the ability to know when to pause, when to use a voice inflection, when to sound stern and confident. And then they actually feel every single word that they're saying with their entire souls and their bodies. That's what makes someone so good, because think about a TED Talk. Anyone who listens to TED Talks, why do we think we take away so much from it. Or at the end of that 10-15 minute segment, we feel so much more empowered with the want to act. We have so much more knowledge. We feel something if it's a deep story, deep life story that someone shared. We feel something so much because of their ability to deliver that message. And with the ability to deliver comes this need to be, I'm going to say it for the 15,000th time in this episode, articulate. Thinking, hey, is this word I'm about to say going to hurt me or and make me look weak? Or will it help embed a good argument, fact, or make others hear what I'm saying? My partner, she is amazing at this. She listens extremely well. Best listener I know in my life. She listens to me ramble all the time, and I've become a better listener because of her. So, on top of her being a great listener, when she speaks, it makes perfect sense. It's not jumbled or incoherent. There's no wasted words. It's either she's saying absolutely nothing and just listening and taking everything in, or when she does say something, it's something that's important to the topic. It's straight to the point. There's no fluff, and it's just simple and concise. So I firmly believe that being more articulate comes from merely paying close attention to every word. And if we take time to craft our words more carefully, take moments to pause and think before we say something, I think I will be shocked, and let alone anyone who's listening, if you guys aspire to be more articulate, it'll shock us at how much more powerful our speech can become. Because all of this can be practiced. It can be practiced every single day, every interaction, every time you meet someone, any single event, everything. It's all in play. I also think reading helps. Ever since I started reading some more books, getting exposed to different writers, styles of writing, additional vocabulary you aren't accustomed to, that helps a ton. I recently watched a video. The video is about being more articulate. And there was a super interesting takeaway that I had about your surface lexicon and deep lexicon. So there's this thing that this guy was explaining. He said, we have a surface lexicon in our brain, which is built with about 1,500 to 3,000 words that we default to unconsciously throughout our daily lives. And then there's a part called a deep lexicon, which is 20,000 to 35,000 words that we recognize and are aware of, but we rarely use those in our speech. So, for example, whenever someone asks like, "Hey, how was your day?" or "How are you?" our surface lexicon in that area of our brain, the words that we default to are good or "I'm okay," "It was fine," because that's just part of our default vocabulary. But how often would someone say it was intriguing? If someone was asked like, "Hey, how was your day?" How often would someone be like, "It was intriguing. It was delightful. It was marvelous." So all three of those words, intriguing, delightful, and marvelous, they are words we recognize and are aware of, and we have them in our brain embedded in there. But it's just rare that we use them often because we have those 3,000 words that we default to every single time we're asked that question. This can apply to any situation. Hey, how's your job search going? Oh, it's going fine. Oh, it sucks. Oh, it's going good. So instead of saying those, you could be like, it's going fantastic. It's going incredibly well. It's been going horrible. Any word that you can think of. Clearly, you guys can tell my vocabulary isn't the best. I can't think of the most, I can't think of the deepest, most thought provoking words. You guys get what I'm trying to say. We have a deep lexicon and we have a surface lexicon, and developing our surface lexicon and having more words we can default to just comes with reading more, paying more attention to the things that we say, and whenever we do get exposed to different words, actually practicing them a little bit more in our daily vocabulary, pausing more before we say something. Because if you're about to answer quickly, if we take a moment before we say something, it'll allow us to access our deep lexicon with all the other words that we have in our bag. Maybe you can pick out a better word. We can pick out a better word to use to answer a question that someone asks instead of using the default 3,000 words that we have in our brain. So that's a small way to just have more words in our arsenal to become more articulate. It was just a great video that I saw. I'll link it in the description of the pod. Yeah, I guess I don't have that much more to say about this. It's just being articulate is very important because there's many perks to it. You become more trustworthy, you seem more genuine, your words hold a lot more power and influence. You possess so much more confidence about what you say because you firmly believe in it. And the likelihood of you saying something and it bringing you shame or a feeling of incompetency decreases substantially when you become more articulate with your words. And look, I'm not the most articulate guy, or I don't want to make it seem like it's not okay to use filler words and so's, and that every word we use should be divine. No, I'm not that type of guy at all. Because you guys can tell I am not the best speaker myself. But why not aim for it? Why not aim to be a great communicator? Because that's what I want to be. That's what I want. That's what I aspire to do. And if you're someone like me who wants to aim for that type of level to be a communicator that moves people with their words and influence, body language, stories, then why not go all in? Why not be very cognizant with the words that we use? Be mindful of them. It's a consistent work in progress, clearly. But the more practice I put in every day with this podcast, the better I'll become. And that's why 365 days, although it's a big milestone once I achieve it, I wonder if why not keep going? Why not keep getting in these reps? Why not getting in this perfect practice or proper practice or whatever the saying is every day? Why not keep doing it? So we'll see. We'll see where we go. We're almost at day 200. But these are my thoughts on being articulate. It's a powerful skill or powerful ambition to have. So we'll see where it goes. If you guys took something away from this, please let me know. Reach out to me, email me, createwithneilpatel@gmail.com. Reach out to me on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever you guys like. My link tree will be below. You guys can reach out to me at any one of those places. I appreciate you guys so much. And like I always say, guys, take care, tell someone that you love them, and go do something nice for someone today because they genuinely deserve it. And if you guys liked it even more, share this with a friend. Follow us on all socials at the Korea Pact Podcast. Leave me a 4 or 5 star review. It would help me out a ton. And with all that being said, guys, I will see your beautiful, I was about to say beautiful faces. If you watch this on YouTube, you'll see my beautiful face, and I'll see your beautiful face. But if you're an audio only type of person, I will see your ears, I guess, tomorrow. Peace.